Welcome to the Taking Vegas podcast for the weekend of October 28th, 29th, and 30th. Good to be with everyone. I am Chris Hodge, and we have so much to speak about. I'm going to get you some free picks here for each day in football, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll go over some game matchups for the weekend if you're listening to Sports Investors Daily Radio. And I have to start with this. No, LA, it is not Russell Westbrook's fault. It never was his fault. It never will be his fault. And the guys out there that are trying to make him the scapegoat and are trying to say it's his fault, completely off base. Let me just explain something to you guys, okay? Russell Westbrook was always a phenomenal talent, but you played him in the playoffs in the bubble. You didn't guard him. Go watch the tape. LeBron James was at the free throw line when Russell Westbrook was attempting three-point shots. You knew he couldn't shoot. The whole basketball world knew he couldn't shoot. Everyone knows he cannot shoot. This is nothing new. That's not what you got Westbrook for. You got Westbrook to play great defense. You got him to get to the rim. Okay, now you want to say he's not doing that. Okay, we'll have that argument. Fine. But to make this guy the scapegoat for what went on in L.A. last year, for what's about to go on in L.A. this year, because they're already 0-4 heading into tonight's matchup against Minnesota, which they're a 7.5-point underdog, all right, while the rest of the West is already running away, okay? To make this guy the scapegoat is completely off base. So I'm going to tell you who the two guys are who's at fault. You guys can argue it all you want. Make the case for either or. On the court, the actual physical part of basketball, I'm blaming Anthony Davis. It's his fault. Okay, right now, Anthony Davis, and this is off the top of my head. I didn't even prepare for it. This is the top of my head. He's not as good as Giannis. We're talking about big men. He's not as good as Embiid. He's definitely not as good as Jokic. Definitely not as good as Giannis. I'll take Valanciunas right now on New Orleans as talking about big guys. He's not as good as Cat. Karl Anthony Towns. He's not. This guy was left wide open for a corner three. He hit the side of the backboard. We all saw the clip. The Portland bench was laughing at him. Nurkic walked away. He walked away from him. Didn't even try to contest. We're at a point right now where defending players against the Lakers aren't even contesting shots. That is a basketball no-no from the jump, from the start of the NBA. You always contested shots. Always. They don't even contest shots. That's not what they're doing. They're letting these guys ride them. Anthony Davis is 7 feet tall. You can't find him near the paint. He's not a dominant post guy. He's a jump shooter, and he's a bad jump shooter at that. I'm not going to blame LeBron for what's going on the court. He always brings it. Okay, the other day he had 8 turnovers. All right, it is what it is. All right, but LeBron, you're going to count on LeBron for 25, 9, and 8 in LeBron's sleep. LeBron's playing good defense this year. Can't blame him. On the court, I'm blaming Anthony Davis. Off the court, I'm not blaming Pelinka. I'm blaming LeBron James. You wanted Westbrook. You didn't guard him in the bubble, yet you wanted him. You could have had DeMar DeRozan. You wanted Westbrook. You can't complain about this now. This is what you wanted. I'm not blaming LeBron on the court. He's playing great. The guy's 38 years old. Be 38. He's still playing great. Still an all-world player. He's still the third best basketball player of all time. Yes, I said the third. I don't want to hear the nonsense. Jordan is 1, Kobe is 2. End of story. I don't want to hear about anything else. He's still the third best player of all time. You guys want to debate 2 and 3? Fine. You ain't debating 1 and 3. You ain't debating. Jordan is Jordan, all right? So we're not going to have that debate. But this notion that it's Westbrook's fault, I feel bad for the dude. He could never shoot. Why are we surprised? Why is anyone surprised? I was in my office last August, not the August that just passed, 2 Augusts ago. I said, this is a bad match. You got ball-dominant players that can't shoot. How's this going to work? So I'm blaming LeBron off the court for lobbying to get Russell Westbrook when he could have had DeMar DeRozan. And I'm blaming Anthony Davis on the court. I'm not buying this Westbrook scapegoat thing. I'm not buying it. He's going to be the scapegoat. But I'm not buying it. For everyone who's listening to Sports Investors Daily on the weekend, if you're hearing this on the weekend, we have 3 free picks in college football for Saturday. 888-9-WIN-NOW is the number to call. 888-994-66 6-9. I'm going to get to a free pick for Friday night in just a moment. College football, we'll give you that. But do some game breakdown here. Miami and Virginia. This is the first time Miami is actually traveling to Virginia. A little bit of a schedule snafu. They haven't gone to Virginia in 3 years. The last 3 times they played them all were at Miami. Last year they lost the game. A highly competitive game. They lost the game by 2. Miami, let me tell you, man. Guy from Duke. We all know Duke's not known for football. Guy from Duke scores a touchdown. He makes the sign of the U and breaks it over his knee. You want to talk about one of the most disrespectful moments that you could possibly have on a football field. Everyone in Texas goes crazy over horns down. Ridiculous. Oklahoma does this when they were beating them years ago. They actually outlawed it now. Now it's a penalty because people are soft. Horns down. It's crazy. Breaking the U over your knee? Whew. If that don't fire up Miami, nothing will. And Virginia won a couple games here, but Virginia's not. They're not scoring points. Miami's minus 2.5. Total's 48.5. Tough game for both teams. We have it for free on a recorded hotline at 888-9-WIN-NOW. That's 888-994-6669. Also, we're speaking about on the Saturday show, when you hear this show, we're talking about Wake Forest and Louisville. Louisville off a nice win last week against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, not really what they are, but, good win. Can't blame them for it. They got the job done. Wake Forest is number 10 in the country, and it just feels like a little bit of a trap. It really just feels number 10 at Louisville, who's having trouble scoring. Wake Forest has a really good quarterback. Wake Forest is only 3.5. Total 63.5. So they're kind of telling you they think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Yet Wake Forest is only 3.5. So sometimes that is cause for concern in terms of the posted point spread. But we've done research on it all week. We're giving that game out for free as well. And then an interesting game in the SEC. Tennessee shot right up the polls. They're number 3. They're playing Kentucky. Tennessee has Georgia on deck. That's a tough spot. That's a really, really tough spot. Kentucky is a good running football team. They do struggle to throw the ball. Going into Tennessee is never easy. Hell, look what just happened to Alabama when they went to Tennessee. Okay? And Tennessee's a good football team. They got a good quarterback. He's playing well. It just seems like it's a spot that Tennessee might be looking ahead because Georgia is Georgia. That's the game. That game is gonna decide who plays in the SEC title game in Atlanta, the beginning of December. So Kentucky ranked 19th, Tennessee ranked number 3, Tennessee 11.5, total 61.5. Tough game to figure out there. We got that for free at 888-9-WIN-NOW, 888-994-6669. There's a couple games for Friday night. East Carolina is playing BYU. Now, at takingvegas.com, we have been lights out with these free picks. You can just sign up for our free pick newsletter. Last night, we gave you the over for free. Anyone who signed up got the over in the Baltimore-Tampa Bay game. Okay. Lucky win. We'll admit that, but a win, which is all that matters. Free pick for tonight, Friday. Louisiana Tech is traveling to Florida International. And really like Florida International here. Plus the 6, plus the 6.5. Marked that down on my phone early in the week. Wanted to track the line movement. The line movement has come down. I'm not sold on La Tech as a football team. They're 2-5. I don't think they should be laying the points they're laying on the road to FIU. Look, neither team is great. We admit that. But FIU has a pretty good quarterback. Not a great ground game, but enough to stay within 6.5 tonight. So we will take, for the free pick for Friday, FIU plus the points. That will be the free pick for Friday. Over to Saturday on a total. Going to go with the under. Baylor, Texas Tech. 62.5. That's what it's around. Again, we do this podcast on Friday. If the line moves, the line moves. Nothing we can do to control that. But Baylor, Texas Tech, under 62.5. Obviously, look, we know Texas Tech can score. We get that. You guys might be a little confused by the pick. But really feeling more so that Baylor is going to try to control the clock. Baylor can run the ball. Texas Tech sometimes, they get away from what works for them offensively. They're actually known for doing that. I just feel like it's going to be a tightly contested game. And 62.5 kind of a big number there. So going to look at the under 62.5. Look, Baylor played Kansas last time out. There was 58 points scored in that game. Texas Tech played West Virginia last time out. There's 58 points scored in that game. I'm not saying it's not going to be a high-scoring game. I'm not going to say it's not going to be in the 50s, but I don't see it getting to the 60s. 52, 53. Look there for the under in the Baylor Texas Tech. I have a private play between Pittsburgh and North Carolina. That's available for Saturday. That is at 888-9-WIN-NOW. 888-994-6669. We have our initial investment program. That program is designed to make 6 times your initial wager, only risking it twice. We'll explain how you do that. It's a whole mathematical concept. And really excited about what we have lined up, not only for Friday, but for Saturday as well. We got some big things going on in the NBA also. There's some great games tonight. There's some great games on Saturday and Sunday. We're in full swing with that. You can check out TakenVegas.com. If you're listening to this wherever you get your podcast, visit TakenVegas.com. A lot of you might be on the website. Explore the website. There's free pick articles every single week. Anywhere between 15 and 20 free pick articles every week. Also, we have live scores, live odds, live injury reports, live weather reports. The whole 9 in terms of sports wagering information. Plus, we're doing these videos, podcasts, radio shows, Sports Investors Daily, that we have been doing since 2006, trying to teach sports wagerers how to gamble correctly and how to make the most amount of money when it comes to sports wagering. Can't win every game. No one said we do. But if you do it the right way, should be able to make a profit. Hell, I make my living at sports gambling, so I'll have the argument with anyone. It's possible. It's doable. But I want to say this before I get to Sunday's card. I don't consider myself a gambler. I never have. Okay, I don't need to bet. If a Thursday comes and we're not on a game, I don't bet. I don't need to bet. I don't need the action. Hell, I'll play with my dogs. I don't need the action. When I'm in Vegas, I go to the sportsbook. I place my wager on the game we like. Game wins. I don't go play roulette, 3-card poker, blackjack, the penny slots, whatever. I don't play that stuff. It's nonsense. Those games are designed for the casino. That's why they look so beautiful. I'm not trying to play that. I don't need to gamble on that. I'm just trying to bet the information we have. That's it. So when I tell people I'm in the gambling industry and I don't consider myself a gambler, some of them are like, what the hell does that mean? I'm telling you what it means. You got to be select. You got to be disciplined. Even the guys in the stock market. You guys don't bet on every stock. Now did that happen? You pick a couple stocks. You bet on them. You put your money up. You see if they do well. So gambling no different. Let's get to Sunday. Interesting board. There is a London game. I tell you, I hate these London games. I really don't like them. Denver and Jacksonville. The most interesting part about that game is Russell Wilson doing jumping jacks or high knees or whatever the hell he was doing on the plane over to London. I can't even say it without laughing. Look, I can't say Jacksonville had some expectations this year. Hell, they're Jacksonville. Type of expectations could you have? Denver had expectations. Denver's 2-5. I mean, that's not good. And they got to pay Russell Wilson a whole lot of money. And he has played terribly. And maybe, just maybe, the guys over at Seattle, maybe they were onto something. Because a lot of them didn't like him as a quarterback there. Maybe they were onto something. Geno Smith's playing well. We'll get to that Giants-Seattle game in just a moment. But there is a London game. Be aware of it. 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Denver and Jacksonville. Chicago goes to Dallas. Chicago off a nice win on Monday night. Dallas kind of looked ho-hum against Detroit. Finally decided to take the game seriously and got the win. We are giving out 3 free picks on a recorded message come Sunday. Again, recording this podcast on Friday. But recording on Sunday, we have 3 free picks on a recorded message. Those 3 free picks will be Arizona and Minnesota, Miami, Detroit, Tennessee, and Houston. 888-9-WIN-NOW is the number to call. 888-994-6669. Those picks will be free. Going to get to a free pick here for Sunday. Again, the line might move, but don't see how New York and Seattle gets over the posted total. We're going to go with the under in that game. Afternoon game at Seattle. Total looks like it's 44.5. Opened at 46.5. Came down to 44.5. Giants have injuries along their offensive line. Seattle has injuries with their wide receivers. Metcalf is banged up. Lockett's banged up. Giants got 2 or 3 offensive line starters out. Definitely 2, possibly 3. Don't see it getting over the total. And a hard road trip. A hard road trip for New York, man. They went out to London to play Green Bay. They came back to New York to play Baltimore. They go down to Jacksonville to play the Jags. They go back up to New York to go home. And then over to Seattle. And they have a bye next week. So a little bit of a tough spot there for New York with travel. But we're going to go with the under there. And there are some good games. Look, for the first time in his life, Aaron Rodgers is a double-digit underdog, which is an amazing number. First time in his life, a double-digit underdog. Boy, I tell you, man, the Packers do not look good. I said it last week when we did the podcast. They found a way to lose to the Giants and the Jets in successive weeks. Then they went and lost to Washington. No one's ever done that in history. You lose to the Giants, lose to the Jets, and lose to Washington in successive weeks? That has never happened. Ever. I'm not even joking. When the last time that happened? How could it happen? All of those teams stink or have stunk. So, I mean, Green Bay had to look at their schedule and be like, at worst, through 7 games, we're 5-2. At worst, we're 5-2. They're 3-4. And they're playing a Buffalo team that is off a bye. And that could get scary. But how many of you laid the double digits last week with Tampa Bay over Carolina? I had a guy call me up on Sunday. He was listening to the Sports Investors Daily Radio show. Guy's name was Tony. He's from San Francisco. And he said, yeah, I'll take the free picks, which, by the way, went 2-1. He goes, but I don't need your other picks. I got my pick for today. Really? Okay, great. What is it? Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is going to kill Carolina. I got them in teases. I got them bet straight up. Oh, okay, good. You're betting a 13.5-point favorite. Yeah, but they're going to kill Carolina. Okay. Haven't heard from Tony since. Don't know I don't even know if he jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge. I don't know. The way he was hyping the game, who knows? But, of course, you don't hear from that guy since. Right? Guys, you're idiots for constantly betting double-digit favorites in the NFL. You're idiots. I don't know how. That's me saying it nicely. That's me saying it nicely. If you are going to try to make your living off betting double-digit favorites in the NFL, everything bad in life that could possibly happen to you is going to happen. If you're married, you're going to end up divorced. Okay? If you have money, you're going to end up losing it all. You're going to be a miserable person because it don't work. And you guys think you're on to something. No, what are you on to? Double-digit favorites in the NFL are a death sentence. They always have been. They always will be. They are a death sentence. Call me up telling me Tampa Bay over Carolina. Like, that's something special. It's ridiculous. Some people. I don't know what to do with some of these people that listen. But, guys, look. Big things going on at Sports Investors Daily. We have a huge weekend planned. Next weekend, we have our NFL Game of the Year planned. Very excited about that. The college version was an easy winner on Ohio a couple weeks ago when they played Western Michigan. And I know people, where the hell did you guys come up with this game? Ohio. Who the hell bets Ohio? Yeah, well, Ohio was a 19-point winner. Was never in doubt. The NFL version, I'm not going to go on and say the NFL version is going to be a 19-point winner because it's hard to win by 19 in the NFL, but it's going to be a winner. We looked at the game. And when I say 19 point, I mean 19-point cover. It's going to be a big game for us, and we like the game a lot. So everything we do this weekend on tonight, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, depending on when you're getting this podcast, is build up for next week. So, guys, again, check out takingvegas.com. Lots of free pick information there. We'll try to teach you how to gamble the right way, how to treat sports wagering as an investment, as a business, how to have a plan, how to attack it with a plan. If you go into sports wagering, you're just going to throw things against the wall, bet different amounts, bet different games, not have any plan, not have any focus, not have any patience or discipline, forget it. Good night. It's over. Don't do it. I'm telling you, do not do it. A lot of other things you can blow your money on and have more fun doing it, right? But if you have a plan, if you attack that plan with smarts, with patience, with discipline, with an investment purpose, you can and will succeed. I do it. I had a 65 average in high school. My wife did all my work for me in college. I was a college athlete, didn't do anything. Somehow got out with a 3.2. My wife did that. And I make my living off this. It's not hard if you have patience and you have discipline. And that's what we try to show you here at TakingVegas.com, Sports Investors Daily, and most importantly, the free picks. So let me just give you the free picks one more time. We're going to end the podcast. We got FIU for Friday night, plus the points. We got under Baylor, Texas Tech for Saturday, around 62.5. We got under New York and Seattle for Sunday, around 44.5. And then we have the 3 free picks for Saturday, 3 free picks for Sunday on a recorded hotline, 888-9-WIN-NOW, 888-994-6669, and ask about sports wagering as a business. Ask about the initial investment program when you call, and we'll show you how to do this the right way. Want you guys to enjoy the weekend. Have a great Friday, and let's make some money this weekend. Enjoy it. We'll catch you back here next week on the Taking Vegas podcast. Have a great day, everyone.